how to see God. In the religious traditions of the world, there are stories, there are accounts, there are writings that describe people who have had visions of God, have heard voices of God. The mystic is not a religionist. The mystic honors the teachings and the symbols of religion as pointers towards states of consciousness that can be markers on the pathway of awakening. But the mystic does not have fundamental allegiance to any particular patterning of consciousness, any particular expression of the divine nature, because the mystic recognizes that divine nature in the carrot as well as in the Krishna. That the mystic recognizes the divine nature in the meatball as well as in the Messiah. The mystic perceives and feels and knows there is a God beyond God. There is a God beyond the culturally conditioned vision of God. Not to deny and not to demean the beauty of the symbols, not at all. The symbols act as both conduits of sacred energies, as well as invitations to move beyond the particular form and bathe in the currents of those energies, unmediated by any particular form. So the mystic is seeking to see the God beyond God, and uses, if it fits with his or her personality, and uses the symbol of the form, again, as a doorway to open and receive blessing, and a doorway to move through into a deeper revelation. This understanding is called, in the mystical tradition of yoga, the Ishta Devata, the chosen form of the divine, that you have a unique and individual relationship and attunement toward, that form that will open your heart. Now, in the training of the Wisdom Heart tradition, this is not limited to kind of yogically approved forms like Lord Shiva or Lord Krishna. It includes all the global patternings of the Sacred One, whether that takes the form of Mother Mary, or whether that takes the form of an ancient sage, whether that takes the form of a white buffalo. These are all vehicles. They are all forms of sacred medicine that, when we internalize, ingest, and integrate them, opens us to see the qualities of that sacred beloved everywhere, including in this mind-body complex. And this is the purpose of these forms, the Ishta Devata, the chosen form of the divine. It's not a practice that everyone attunes to. That's fine. But for those who have an inner call to see God, this Ishta practice of attuning to a particular patterning of the sacred, a particular form of the sacred, can be a powerful methodology for discovering the deeper dimensions of that vision, which goes beyond seeing God as an object and discovering God as a presence that is awakening in you, through you, and as you. And as that awakening deepens, it's less about seeing God than seeing through the divine eye, through hearing through the divine ears, tasting with the divine mouth, here and now through these very senses, discovering and seeing the vision of God is life itself.